What's up, beautiful people and crazy kids of the internet world? Firstly, I apologize for my absence. I've been busy doing mad stuff, and as a result, I've had to change my trading style. For those of you that have, all four of you, I know I've mentioned four before, who've been watching the videos, you know that I'm more of a scalper, and have been for most of my trading journey, but due to being a bit hectic, I've had to change my trading style to adapt to the time that I've had available. And I want to share with you good old pound Australian dollar. I know a lot of people are going to be able to follow along, and some of you might not be able to, but as you know, I tend to just stick with the one currency pair, the pound Australian dollar. Some people don't like it because it's quite wicky. There's quite a few long wicks and stuff that appear. But I want to show you what I've been doing for the, I suppose, in a way, sort of swing trading. But yeah, it's certainly been a different style, and something that I've really had to sit on my hands and really adapt to because of the time that I've had available. And then I want to talk about today's activity, because today's been quite exciting. Anyway, let's share screen, and before we do that, let's do that, then do that, and then do share screen. And we want okay, so hopefully now you can see this is the pound Australian dollar. This is on the 4-hour time frame, and I have a couple of indicators on the chart. I have this one here, which is this sort of channel thing. It's called the linear regression channel. So if you go to indicators and type linear, there we go, linear regression channel, and that automatically puts this channel in place for you. Now, when I first started, I think I've got it set at look back of 200. So basically 200 previous candles, and it will give it, I suppose in a way, it's like the kind of pitchfork stuff, but you don't actually have to do anything with it. You just put it on the chart and it will automatically draw this channel for you. I've just changed the colors to match what I'm using. So I've got the kind of orange zone for looking for buys and the white zone looking for sells. So as you can see, my bullish candles are orange and my bearish candles are white. And then I've got these fib zones all set up along the way. So this started back in July. Can you believe it? July. Wow. So we're rapidly approaching October. So today is the 29th of September. So this has pretty much been 3 months worth of trading here. So this fib retracement tool, you normally get it from second one down, that one there. And I know in one of the previous videos, somebody said they didn't know where to draw the fibs to and from. So for example, here, I had initially drawn them from that high there to that low there. And I think it kind of came up into that sort of area and then down, and then I've adjusted it to leaving that one still at the top there and moved it down to there. And then you see these two orange lines, you see prices pushed up into that. Now, I'm not necessarily using that all the time as my target. Sometimes it will trace up to the 618, as I think it shows in one of the examples elsewhere. But anyway, I'll talk you through it another time. So turn the magnet off there as well. So basically, this fib setup, I've got the high and the low, the various retracement levels, and then potential target levels after. So I've got the 272 and the 618 down here. And then, as you can see, price came down from that sort of orange zone up there all the way down to that target there. Sorry, so the first target, I normally have it as take profit 1, take profit 2, and take profit 3. So it's gone all the way down to take profit 2. And in that case, if I remember rightly, it was, yeah, I think it's about 600, yeah, 600 odd pips. So down to that level there, it was just shy of 600, 590. So yeah, so that was a 600 pip move. Then getting in for a buy up to the next level. So again, I've taken the fibs from that high there down to that low there, and it's gone just past the 618 level there. Hasn't quite reached the orange zone there, and then gone into another sell. And this one was quite frustrating because I had this target here of so that was take profit 2 of 1.68577, and it came, so I think it came from memory, I think it was about 20 pips came within that target. Didn't quite make it, and then, as you can see, had a bit of a bounce around. But don't forget, this is the 4-hour time frame, so you're entering there on the 17th of August down to there, which was the 30th of August. So that was 2 weeks letting that run. So yeah, it certainly tested me, but because I'd been sort of looking at this sort of setup and strategy for a while, I thought I'm just going to go with it and just trust that these levels work out. So that was that one, and then so we took the high from there down to that low there. Then we took the high from there down to that low, and again price came up to tap the 618 level there, and then moved off. And again, I've taken another fib setup from that high there. And at that point, it was down to that low there. Again, came up to the 618 level. And then, as you can see, that's where sort of more current, where we had that massive drop. In fact, so much so it's gone all the way off the bottom of the chart there. So I've just had to move that to adjust. So that was that setup. So I've really got into my fib trading. So sorry, that was the other thing. This had started off all the way back there, this channel. So obviously it's just moved because it's only looking back the last 200 candles. So it's just moved to that area, and it's still in place. And as you can see, it's playing out quite nicely. You know, if you're looking at the upper level of the channel, the lower level of the channel, and then the sort of mid level, you can see as price comes up to it, reacts to that level, pushes through, comes back down, reacts to that middle point there again, has done again there, or there, so 3 in a row there. And then we just had that massive drop. Oh, got a sell alert on the 5 minute. And so that, I'll talk you through this because this is more recent. But yeah, that was quite an interesting setup. So that played out quite nicely. That was, I can't remember now how many pips that was. That was roughly down to that level was 366. But as you can see, it shot down to, well, even right down to the bottom there, 1,169 from my initial entry. So that's crazy. I didn't get involved in all of that, but never mind. You know, doesn't matter. So so that is what I've been doing. As you may see this zone here and this dashed green line. These were from previous lower levels. I think one was 2017, 2016. So looking back at where price had hit those sort of areas previously. So yeah, going back sort of 5-6 years until since price had been down to those sorts of areas. And obviously, as you can see, it really plummeted. Anyway, so that is that. Now today, let's talk through today's activity. So in fact, I may talk through yesterday's activity actually. Where were we yesterday? What were we doing? Right, so oh yeah, no, it's way before that. I've just remembered because I've just realised the time. So yesterday, I was up early. I was awake, a silly time, and this is all sort of set on my phone. So, and actually, there's previous. So again, fib levels, as you can see. So from the high to the low there, wait for it to come up into this zone here, this sort of orange zone, and then I placed a cell, and I had set just the target of that same level, and it just nudged through there. I don't think that I closed, this was overnight because it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't think it closed out, but my trading stop took that up again. Can't remember for the life of me how many pips that was now. I think it was about, yeah, about 6. I think it was about 60 or 70 pips, but I think the target was 70. Yeah, there we go. 70 was the target, and I think it took me out about 60 odd pips on that. So that was that move there. Then you can see, well, not necessarily, but there's the zone I was looking at for it to come down to there, and then I, as I say, was up early yesterday morning, and I'd marked from the bottom there using the fib extension, trend-based fib extension tool, which was going from the bottom there up to the top there and back down to the bottom here, giving me a guide of take profit 1, take profit 2, and take profit 3. And as I say, I was up at 5 in the morning, which was about this sort of time. It took me a few minutes to mark that up, and this is all on my phone. And I've placed an arrow where I got in on that trade there. You might be able to see if I've moved out the way that one with the orange arrow on it is an engulfing candle. So I got in at the top of that. Well, when it closed, experienced some drawdown there, and then it carried on going up to its take profit 1, take profit 2, and then eventually take profit 3, and that was nearly 68 pips on that, which what time was that? 5 to 7 in the morning, so nearly 7 o'clock. So I was quite happy with that. So before the normal day had started. I don't think I was involved in any of that. I think I was considering it, but didn't in the end. And I will talk you through these lines and indicators and stuff as well in a moment. And some other indicators that I've got not on display at the moment that are quite helpful too. So that was mad there. That was yesterday, 11 o'clock, massive spike up. And obviously this is this is the 5-minute time frame. And that had spiked up massively, 150 pips, I think, in that 5 minute, and then it went 150 pips the other way. I think may even have been more in the end. In fact, let's just have a quick look see from around that level. Yes, it was more. I remember at one point, it must have been about there. Yeah, it was about that sort of area. I thought, blimey, that was 150 one direction, but that was just one massive wick on the 5-minute candle, and then 150 pips in the other direction. But then obviously it continued down. Now this indicator, this line here, is what I've been using recently more for my scalping purposes, and I've got my normal trend fill based on the 200 exponential moving average. So when price is above, this background goes orange, so we should be looking for buys. When it goes white, we should be looking for sells. So that was fairly exciting. Didn't get involved in any of that. I was considering, because I think I'd stepped away from a desk for however long, missed that shoot up and came back to it and went, oh my word. And then as you can see, this line here is staying green for as price is pushing up and red for when price is coming down. It's quite simple, really. Then you can see we've had the hit at the bottom here. So all I've done is draw fib levels from that low there up to that high. Price come back down into that area there, and I placed a buy. And you can see that this indicator as well is also giving buy alerts. Now this does repaint, so you have to wait for the candle to close. And then as you can see, the price started pushing up, then came back down again, and then went off. So you might be able to spot, you might not be able to, certain parts of it that are grey, and you may also notice the candle colours as well. So here, for example, where price has pushed down below this line here, you can see here that the candle is grey and the line is grey. Again, here it's grey and the line is grey, and then even though these are bearish candles, buy alert, though these are bearish candles, they've got the orange fill. So basically, the indicator sets the colour of the candles, and so I've got them to be orange like my bullish candles and white for my bearish candles. So even though these were bearish candles, it's filled them in orange, so the body of the candle is orange, but you can see the border and the wick are still white because they are coming down, but they don't change until they actually cross below this line. And this is considered a potential continuation. Maybe it's coming down to this level and then pushing back up again. Obviously in this case here, this candle would have been grey throughout this process. This line would have been grey, and then as that candle continues forming, it's then turned solid white, as has the candle below. And then this candle here is a bullish candle, but the body is still white because it's below this green/red line. So back to yesterday afternoon. So price had come down to there, pushed up for a buy, came back down again, and then we got another movement upwards. So let me just, in fact, you can see from there that was a fairly decent move. I can't remember how many pips that was in the end. I think that was where that came out at 180 odd pips. I think it did push up towards 200. Yeah. So as you can see on that level there, it's hit that line, but not really quite. So that was 180 odd pips in that move there. And again, really pushing myself to sit on my hands and just let it do its thing. So, so that was about 6:30, I think. Yeah, there we go, 25 past 6. So not bad end to the day. And then let's move on to today. So here we go. So again, I was up early, but not awake enough to do anything on the charts. So my first activity was at 25 past 9. So you may see, oh my word, there's loads of fib lines on here. Let's stretch that out a bit just so we can see what's going on. So we had this buy alert here. We had this engulfing candle here. It crosses above the line. So you can see that this line was green, then grey, then red, then back to green, and it pushed up, came back down again, and then pushed up further. So that was 100 odd, 100 pips, I think. And actually, if I'd held on for that run up to there, or even just let it carry on, that would have been a very nice return. But 100 pips, I was happy with that. And so, in fact, let me share with you the other indicator. So many of you will have seen this one before. This is the stochastics, multi-time frame stochastics. So you've got the blue and the red of the 5 minute, the green is the 15 minute, the white is the half hour, the orange is the hour, and the yellow is the 4 hour. Now, when the blue crosses above the red, normally looking for a buy. I normally like for the 5 and the 15 to be down in the extreme, or certainly near the extreme together before I start looking at it. But on this occasion, because I had the engulfing candle there, it was above the green line, and then I was happy to take a punt. So it kind of started making some profit, and then came back to almost nothing or break even again, and then went on its merry way. So in order to help with that, we've got this indicator here, which is the TMA, the moving average. For those of you who ever watch RT and the moving average, great YouTube channel. They have this RSI divergence indicator. So TMA -RSI div, I think it is version 2. So version 1 was just a plain white RSI, or plain colored. This one is by Phoenix Binary, I think, if I remember rightly, and it gives you the color changing element of the RSI line, plus you also get this floating level. So you've got the 50, so the midline, as it were, this dashed one here, the red at the extreme at the top, green at the extreme at the bottom. All those are the colors that I've set. And there's this floating level. So what we're really looking for is for the multicolored line to cross above the floating level. So I've changed the settings on that to, I think, 25 and 14. And I think rather than the 14, it's normally at 50, the floating 50. And I can't remember what the original level was for the RSI. Doesn't matter. If you add it to your chart, it will tell you. So I've changed it to 25 and 14 and found this to work quite nicely with, certainly with this pair. I haven't really tried it on many others because, as you know, I only really trade this pair because it gives me decent moves. And then I've got this, this is a MACD at the bottom here, which I know may just look like an ordinary, color changing moving average or whatever. So we've got several elements of confirmation. So you can see here, you get this green arrow, which is advising when that line is crossing above the floating. When they're above the 50 as well, you tend to get some decent, so in the top half, you get some decent moves. So this sort of area, you can see they've got a red background, meaning that we're sort of looking for a potential sell. And then at this point here, you get the red arrow and you get the cross of the multicolored RSI line below the floating level. So on this one, again, we had the engulfing candle here, and I'd actually got in at the bottom of that. But I was a bit keen. So I then reevaluated where I was at. I could see that this line hadn't crossed, and we had briefly red MACD, and then it turned green again, and then it went red. So you can see that there we get a slight move with the cross of the red above blue on the 5 minute stochastic, and then you push back up again, back up into the extreme with another pink band behind. And then you can see that actually at that point there would have been a better place to get in. So even though I'd got in here, I let that position run because I was still fairly confident. I wasn't 100%, but I was fairly confident. And at that point, I also then marked up the fib levels from the top there down to the bottom there, and that gave me that zone there. And that's where I placed my sell at that sort of area there. Now that went on for 68 pips, I think it was 67. There we go. So with only a 15 pip stop loss, that gave a risk to reward of 4.47. But I'd still had this other position here, which I think gave me 40 pips from that sort of level down there. So we had 100 pips from this move here, and then another 100 odd from that move there. I'm sorry if I'm just talking at you and you're not following any of this at all, but you know, this is quite handy to have this in place, because you know, it made me check myself again. So, and I know people have said, you know, when am I going to do live sessions, and I will as soon as I can. I've just been a bit crazy busy recently. So yeah, so that level there wasn't bad, but actually it wasn't great either. So got some drawdown and then picked it up and more. So I had that based on the combination of the change of this direction back up again, giving me this level down here, this orange line here, which also coincided with, I don't know if you can see it very easily, this white candle here. And I thought, okay, that's not a bad sort of level. And actually it gave me a fairly good return, excellent return actually. And then after that was happening, I thought, oh blimey, actually, let me mark this out from the low to the high here. And that then gave me this zone here. So I don't know if you can see that very easily, this grey box that I've now highlighted, which is basically these two orange lines, the levels of that just extended across, rather than dragging that all the way across and having a complete jumble of, I know I've already got a jumble of lines here. And then as price was approaching, I thought, well, wait a minute, we've got, and I know it's difficult to see because they're actually the same color candles, but we've got an order block here. So I've just marked out this slightly smaller rectangle based on just the wick of this candle here that I'm on now. And as you can see, initially price came down to that level and pushed up, and then came back down and almost filled the wick of that candle there that I've just mentioned. And again, I took my position based on that. So I got into the trade, and then I got a phone call from my daughter saying, could I go and pick her up? So that was, I think she finished at 2. So I had to leave here about, I think it's about 1:30. So I just set my take profit at this level here. No, sorry, I did set it at that level initially, and then I thought, well, actually, I'm just going to go for around 100 pips on that, because you know, that with a 20 pip stop loss, which I think was a bit generous, that gave me 1 to 5 risk to reward on that one, and yeah, again, another nice return. Then I came back from picking my daughter up, seeing that that had closed out in profit, and then I think I was, yeah, it was around here. So we just had this pullback here, and I'd marked out the fibs for up to this level here, and I thought, right, I'm just going to place another buy up to that level there. I set the take profit or the target at that 1.6494. And that closed out with 109 pips. and that was just a 10 pip stop loss on that one, because I'd already done quite nicely so far, and I don't even know where we're at now. So yeah, it's pushed past that, so I could have got even more out of it, but actually, what's that, 100, 110, I think that was roughly, another 100, so 100, 300, no, 100, 210, 310, 400, and let's say 420 is just round up. So not bad, really. So that's just based on this indicator here, and that I will do a video on this indicator because I feel I've talked at you loads and loads and loads. I'll do a video explaining this indicator, this indicator, and this indicator. This one is not publicly available. And I keep saying, and I've said it before, that I will try and find something that is similar to that, because I did find something, but I lost it again. So I need to try and find out where that is. These are all freely available indicators, publicly available in the library on TradingView, and actually seem to work pretty well. This one here, this indicator here, is one I've put together myself. So that includes, I think it's 4 moving averages now. So that's the I've got them all as smoothed moving averages rather than the EMAs, but they pretty much line up with the EMAs anyway. And then they also give these, it also includes these buy and sell indicators as well. And even if you took the trades just based on those, but okay, if you got in on that one like I did, then you would have got a bit of drawdown, but it depends what sort of lot size you're using in relation to your account size, whether you can handle that drawdown. And then that, obviously, second sell indicator there, and again that is on the candle, so it appears as the candle is forming, but again I was confident based on the fib levels and some of the fib trading setups I've been doing anyway. So yeah, 400 odd pips from the 5-minute time frame today. So take a breath, because I have just talked and talked and talked. So I'm going to leave that there just to show that I'm still alive, still trading, still doing stuff, but have been ridiculously busy with other bits as well. So I've not been able to jump on and do videos like this as often as I would like to. But I will try and do more in the future. So let's see how we get on. Right, let's stop sharing. I hope that was of help. If it wasn't, I'm sorry, but I will do an explanation video of those additional indicators I've got on the chart there. And they're just to help support, to add confidence to the position that you're taking, because, as I say, a lot of this I'm basing on fib levels and fib retracements. So rather than just taking the indicator and going, right, that's it, blindly taking a buy or blindly taking a sell, it's to support my thoughts behind what's happening. So I hope that helps. And if you've got any questions, comments, please feel free to pop them in the comments section, and I shall try and come back to you as quickly as possible. And of course, please do feel free to, well, actually, some of the projects I'm involved in now, I might start moving some of this trading related stuff onto a separate channel, just for trading, because what I might do on here is I might start adding some of my other projects that I'm doing which aren't necessarily trading related, if you see what I mean. So let's wait and see. So I shall let you know as and when, give you good time for that. Right, I hope you're all well. Stay well if you are well. And if you're not well, I hope you feel better soon. And I shall catch you on the next one. Ta-ta for now. And hopefully it won't be so long next time. Cheery bye.